everybody, welcome to the kitchen. Today, I'm going to make a vegetable lasagna. And we're going to use fresh pasta to make the lasagna today, so let's start with that. I have here on my counter a cup and a half of semolina flour. And I'm just going to make a well in the middle of it. And I'm going to put my wet ingredients in there. I need 2 tablespoons of olive oil. 2 tablespoons of water. 1 and 2. Half a teaspoon of salt. And 2 eggs. I'm going to crack the eggs right into the middle of the well here. All right. We'll just grab a fork, beat up our egg a little bit. And then we just kind of work in a little bit of the flour from the outside into the middle. Nice and easy. Keep on bringing it in. And as you bring it in, it'll start to get incorporated more and more. Start to suck up more and more of that liquid. And then once you get to where it's not really running anymore, that's where you just dive on in there with clean hands and start to form it. I like to just run it through my fingers a little bit first. Try to mash it together. And now I'm going to try and knead it and make a dough. Just bring it together. And you'll slowly be able to start kneading it. Now you see I have less and less crumbs. They're getting incorporated in there. And from this point, I want to knead it for about 3 minutes. Alright. Now you'll see the dough, it's all uniform. All together now. And we're going to put this in the fridge and let it rest for about an hour. Alright, and as I do this, I'm going to get my bechamel sauce ready. I have about half a stick of butter. I add 3 tablespoons of flour and get that cooking. Remember, flour is a raw product, so you want to cook out that rawness. You never want to eat raw flour. I'm going to add a little bit of Better Than Bouillon roasted garlic base. About a teaspoon's worth. Okay, maybe a little bit more. And we're just going to let that cook a little bit on medium-low heat. Now, the color that is in the roux just came out of the base, so we'll have to pay attention to it. But we don't want to put any flavor into the roux in terms of caramelization. So just cooking out the flour. It'll take about a minute. Alright, so now our roux is cooked up pretty well. And we're going to add to that some milk. I have whole milk here from local dairy. And I'm going to add about 3 cups. I'm going to bring that up to the boil. Turn up the heat. I'm going to season it. This is going to be our sauce. With some salt. Some pepper. Some Italian seasoning. I'm going to do this about half a cup of sun-dried tomatoes, which I've chopped up. And we're going to bring that to the boil and let it thicken up a little bit, and that's going to be our bechamel sauce for our lasagna. And we'll probably use a little bit of tomato sauce as well, but it's going to primarily be a white dish. Alright, so we'll let that come to the boil, and I'll be back. Alright, so here we see our bechamel has come to the boil. And it's gotten some thickness to it. See, it coats the spoon very nicely. And we're just going to turn that off, and that's going to be ready to use for our sauce. And after we make the pasta, we'll put together our lasagna. Okay, so I have my dish. I put some olive oil on the bottom, and we're going to make our pasta sheets for our lasagna. Now the fun part about doing this with fresh pasta is you don't have to pre-cook it. So we're just going to turn on our machine, give them a little pat, and just pass it through. And you fold it over and pass it through again. This is the biggest setting, number 1. And now I'm going to increase the setting as I go. There goes number 2. There goes number 3. And you can stop now or go one more to number 4. I think for the first layer, I'm going to go a little bit thicker. Just going to place that in the bottom of my pan. If it comes up the side a little bit, that's fine. I'm going to need a little bit more. So starting again, number 1. Fold it up. Alright, now we're going to move to number 2. And number 3. Alright, so now we have the bottom layer here. I'm going to put a couple spoonfuls of our bechamel sauce. We have some caramelized onions. Roasted red peppers. And we did all these vegetables for our grilled vegetable sandwich. And we did the onions for our grilled cheese sandwich. Some long hot peppers. Put a pinch of parsley down there. We have some grilled eggplant. Put some of that into this layer. A couple spoons of bechamel. Alright, then cheese. Add some mozzarella. I add some ricotta. Gonna put a couple chunks in there. Just little plugs. And then I'm going to give a couple turns of grana padano. Now I'm going to top this with another layer of pasta, do vegetables again, and then top with another layer of pasta. I'll speed up the video while I do that. Alright, so there we have the top all covered. Now we're just going to put the rest of our bechamel on top. And then cover it with a little bit more mozzarella. And we're going to cook this in a 350-degree oven for about a half hour. I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. Let's see how we did. I gave it a few extra minutes because I wanted to get a little bit brown on the top. So it's been for about 45 minutes. And there we go. Now we're going to let that rest for a good 10 minutes before we even consider cutting into it, because that would kill you right now. I'll see you in a couple. Alright, see how we did. Here is our roasted vegetable lasagna. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I hope you enjoy.